Top 7 Rarest American Muscle Cars. The muscle car era prioritized raw horsepower over all else, though today's models have evolved. Periodically, the industry taps into America's enduring love for muscle cars, releasing newer, higher-performing models. This trend dates back to the 60s, with Ford's Mustang and Chevy's Camaro. Defining a muscle car often involves American origin, a potent V8 engine, and the era when muscle ruled. Among the multitude of American muscle cars, discerning the best is a captivating pursuit. So in this video, we'll tell you about the top 7 rarest American muscle cars, so stay tuned till the end. But before starting, make sure to like the video and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. And now, let's get started. 7. 1964 Ford Fairlane Thunderbolt. Back in the golden era of muscle cars, Ford unleashed a masterpiece in 1964 with the Fairlane Thunderbolt, a true rarity with just a limited run of 100 units. These legendary machines are the holy grail for collectors, fetching astronomical prices exceeding $200,000 at prestigious auctions. There's an unspoken creed among enthusiasts that elevates the allure of a car with its scarcity, and the Ford Fairlane Thunderbolt epitomizes this sentiment as the ultimate prize of the '64 model year. While its primary domain was the drag strip, the Thunderbolt held a technical nod to street legality, although its race tube gear ratios weren't exactly suited for leisurely drives around town. Only a fortunate few secured ownership of a Thunderbolt in '64. The initial batch boasted Ford's vintage burgundy paint, while the bulk shimmered in the classic Wimbledon white, cementing its status as a timeless icon of automotive history. 6. 1965 Shelby Mustang GT 350. Back in 1965, Carroll Shelby, renowned for his automotive prowess, painstakingly handcrafted the legendary 1965 Mustang GT 350, cementing its status as one of the greatest muscle cars to ever hit the road. With his skilled hands, Shelby took a run-of-the-mill Ford Mustang and masterfully molded it into a breathtaking fastback, imbuing it with the spirit of a race car tailored for the streets. This iconic creation, the GT 350, not only left an indelible mark in automotive history, but also holds a revered place in Ford's legacy, captivating enthusiasts and collectors alike for generations. The introduction of the Ford Mustang, often hailed as the quintessential pony car, caused a sensation in 1964, captivating the American public and achieving remarkable sales figures, totaling 2 million units within its initial 2 years of production. While the standard Mustangs boasted a formidable 289 cubic inch V8 engine, it was the Shelby GT 350 iterations of these early models that truly ignited the passions of automotive enthusiasts and collectors. Produced in limited numbers, the 1965 Shelby Mustang GT 350 became an emblem of exclusivity. With only 562 units manufactured that year, each GT 350 became a prized possession for those fortunate enough to acquire one. Presently, these vintage marvels command considerable value in the collector's market, with well-preserved examples fetching nearly $300,000, while pristine show-quality specimens can easily surpass the $600,000 mark, serving as a testament to their enduring allure and historical significance. 5. 1949 Oldsmobile Rocket 88. You know, back in the day, there was this car that didn't seem like much at first glance. They called it the 1949 Oldsmobile 88. Sure, it didn't break any speed records, topping out at a measly 97 miles per hour and taking a whopping 13 seconds to hit 60 miles per hour from a standstill. But here's the kicker. Some folks argue it was America's original muscle car. See, what set it apart was this newfangled overhead valve Rocket V8 engine. It gave the 88 a real kick, making every ride feel like an adventure. Compared to the big shots of its time, like the 98 series, the 88 was more modest in size. Just 202 inches long and 75.2 inches wide. It didn't need to be a giant to make an impression, and let's talk about that engine for a second. Oldsmobile pulled out all the stops, coming up with a 303 cubic inch V8 that packed a punch, 135 horsepower, and 283 pound-feet of torque. Plus, with its overhead valve design, it wasn't just powerful, it was efficient too, sipping fuel like a champ. That's why a lot of muscle car enthusiasts point to the Rocket 88 as the OG muscle car. Sure, by today's standards, its performance might not seem all that impressive. But back then, that high-compression V8 was cutting-edge stuff, and even though it wasn't breaking any speed records, it sure felt like a rocket on wheels to anyone lucky enough to take it for a spin. 4. 1967 Chevrolet Camaro Z28. The Chevrolet Camaro came about as a response to the immense popularity of the Ford Mustang, which hit the market in 1964. Debuting 3 years later, the Camaro boasted a sleek design available as both a coupe and convertible, riding on the Chevy Nova platform. It packed a punch under the hood too, offering robust engine choices, including a 396 cubic inch V8 capable of delivering up to 375 horsepower. Chevrolet dubbed the Z28 model as the closest thing to a vet yet, and for good reason. While later iterations of the Z28 saw higher production numbers, they tended to blend in more with other Camaros over time. However, there's a silver lining as they became increasingly thrilling as years passed. Nevertheless, the later Z28s couldn't quite capture the same magic as the originals from 1967 to 1969. 3. 1970 Plymouth Roadrunner Superbird. The 1970 Plymouth Superbird stood out as one of the most daringly styled muscle cars to ever grace the tracks of NASCAR. Taking inspiration from the renowned Plymouth Roadrunner, the Superbird boasted a design reminiscent of the Charger Daytona, injecting a bold presence into the racing scene. What truly set the Superbird apart was its exceptional aerodynamic performance. Sporting a prominent nose cone up front and an imposing rear spoiler, the car was engineered to cut through the air with minimal resistance, enhancing its on-track prowess. Under the hood, enthusiasts could choose from 3 powerful engine options, ranging from a 375 horsepower 440 cubic inch V8 to the legendary 425 horsepower 426 cubic inches Hemi. Despite initial hesitation due to its unconventional appearance, the Superbird has since become a coveted icon of the muscle car era, fetching impressive prices at auctions and earning its place as a symbol of automotive excellence. 2. 1970 Chevrolet Chevelle SS 454. The 1970 Chevelle SS 454, with its LS6 engine under the hood, lacked the modern conveniences that contemporary muscle car enthusiasts now take for granted. Despite its formidable 450 horsepower output, it still fell short by 5 horses compared to the current SS Camaro's 6.2-liter V8. Nevertheless, for devoted fans of Chevrolet, this car embodies the essence of what makes a classic. Limited production, the most potent engine available, and enduringly stylish design. The 454 represented the zenith of Chevrolet's engine prowess for production passenger vehicles, delivering effortless power and torque in its LS6 guise. Clocking a 0-60 miles per hour sprint in just over 5 seconds, the 1970 Chevrolet Chevelle SS 454 earned its stripes as one of the swiftest accelerating cars of its era, a feat that continues to captivate collectors today, driving its substantial collectability and ensuring its place as a highly coveted piece of automotive history. 1. 1964 Pontiac GTO. The Pontiac GTO is often credited with jump-starting the muscle car craze of the 1960s. Originally available as an optional upgrade for the Pontiac Tempest, it marked a significant shift towards high-performance models for the masses. Instead of sticking with the Tempest's basic 140 BP 6-cylinder engine, the GTO boasted a powerful 389 cubic inch V8 delivering a hefty punch. The top-tier GTO package was a real beast, featuring triple carburetors pumping out 348 BP, a 4-speed manual gearbox, upgraded suspension, wider wheels, and eye-catching bonnet scoops. It could blitz from 0-60 miles per hour in a mere 5.7 seconds, which was quite impressive for its time. The GTO's performance capabilities were so remarkable that it drew comparisons even with the prestigious Ferrari 250 GTO. Automotive magazines of the era couldn't resist pitting the two against each other to see just how the American upstart stacked up against its Italian namesake. And that's it for today. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you next time.